The following is a special HGTV on location presentation.
Hi everybody, I'm Will Schreiner and I'm here in Viva Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show 96. This is our second annual look at all the cool stuff in video, camcorders, high-end audio, mobile electronics, gadgets, everything you want and need is right inside. But it's not open to the public, but we're going to take you inside and give you a sneak preview, so roll the music. You know, word has it that you, the consumer, will spend up to $65 billion this year on consumer electronics, and that doesn't even include the batteries. Well, join me as 80,000 visitors and I go through the Consumer Electronics Show and look at what's new for the car, for the home, for the office. We'll even show you some really cool, new, futuristic stuff that's just around the corner. So come on inside as we check out CES 96. Eye control. Wherever I look, it's eye control. We've heard about eye control. It's been available in the 35mm still camera, but now Canon introduces the first eye control for your camcorder. With us is Mike Zorich. Mike, what is eye control?
Well, Will, eye control is the most revolutionary feature to come along in camcorders in years. And simply what it does is it allows video makers to have a much easier process to operate a camcorder. And traditionally, camcorders can be kind of intimidating to users because they usually have to familiarize themselves with all of the tiny little external control buttons. Well, Canon has simplified that process. By using eye control, the camera will respond to the movement of your eye and will allow you to activate a variety of features, including the autofocus, 11 different digital special effects. You can apply the date, you can apply a title, you can do things like fade, you can even start and stop recording, all without ever having to take the camcorder away from your eye to do that.
Your eye tells it all. You have a good example here of how it works. Why don't you
Right,
back
we
up?
sure do. Technically, the way eye control works, Will, is illustrated here in this graphic. And inside the viewfinder of the camcorder, there's what we call an eye control mechanism. And what that mechanism does is it emits an infrared beam of light to the video maker's eye. And that beam of light then bounces back to a sensor inside the viewfinder that allows the camera to know which area of the viewfinder screen you're looking at. The camera will then adjust the autofocus system for that subject that you're looking at. And then in addition, we'll allow you to apply all of 11 different digital effects, or the title, the date, fade, start and stop recording. And essentially what that does is it reduces clumsy camcorder handling. You never have to take the camcorder away from your eye.
It gives you a sort of a free hand to think with.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, we got one here. Let's take a look at, why don't you show me how to calibrate it, and
okay.
We'll kind of take a...
Well, what you've got to do is to calibrate the camera specifically for your eye, and that takes about 15 seconds. You're going to look at the right side of the viewfinder screen and press the red button.
All right.
And this is so that the camera can understand the individual characteristics about your eye. Now you look at the left side of the screen and press the red button again.
All right.
Okay. And now you've completed the calibration process. Now we can take the camera out of the calibration mode and go into automatic. And now what will happen is, as you see the white screen on the inside the viewfinder,
that's my eye looking around. You see my eye looking around there.
Right. It moves according with the movement of your eye.
Right.
Any subject matter that's covered by that white focus frame is the subject that the camera is going to autofocus on.
Okay.
Now we can guarantee that the subject that you want to be in focus is the subject that the camera will bring into focus.
Right. Okay, there we are in the little hanging elephant here, right?
Right.
Now if I were to move my eye over to the bear...
Right. It'll bring the bear into focus.
And back to the elephant. Ah, look at that. Well, this eye control really gives me a lot of control over the camera without having my fingers so busy. What is the ES5000 going to sell for?
You can expect the ES5000 to sell for $18.99, Will.
Eye control. What's next? Mouth control?
Mouth control would be great.
These incredible video images we're looking at on the screen here were shot just a couple of days ago with this exciting new camcorder, the Digital Handycam. This really brings broadcast quality production to the consumer. To tell us more about it is Dan Nicholson from Sony. Dan, tell us, everyone's excited about this. This is some great stuff.
Well, the reception's been very, has taken us all a little bit by surprise. I think the consumer market has been waiting for something like this. This is the final step to bring the ultimate in digital recording right to the consumer. And the reception's been phenomenal. We're really really excited about it.
When you talk about the advantages of digital recording, for the average layperson, what do they gain here in digital domain?
Well, the first thing they're gaining is full digital recording, and what that affords you is no resolution loss at any time, so you can make generation after generation copy and notice no loss in the video. In addition to that, you get the advantage of this DV interface. Now, Sony Handycams are the only one to have this revolutionary IEEE 1394 interface.
I thought that was the IEEE 94 there in your hand.
That's exactly what it is.
But this really allows you to take this digital imagery into other formats, such as the computer, right?
Exactly. It's the final bridge between the Handycam and the computer. This interface allows you to digitally download your images right onto the hard drive with no conversion to analog. And once you get it into the hard drive, you can do things like web page creation and desktop publishing, non-linear editing, like we're doing over here on my left side. We're using standardized Adobe Premiere non-linear editing system, and what we've done is we have the camcorder here, which is playing back the image, and I'll just push play here. Whoops, we got it there. All right, we'll roll some images, and what we're able to do using this IEEE interface is to digitally download the video right onto the hard drive. Once we have it on the hard drive, we're able to capture that image, and I can just strike the button here. And once I've captured that image, I can name that image, give it a name, bring it over here over to my construction window. Once it's in there, and I'll just close this down. Once it's in here, I can pick any scene I want and literally arrange it in any order I want. So I can grab this top scene of the two tigers, bring it right up here to my construction window, let it go, and it's now become part of my ultimate edit. And I can play this back right from the hard drive.
So nonlinear in a sense for the consumer. This is an exciting this has been around in the broadcast side for a long time, but now the consumer can really manipulate and put together his own home movies with no generation loss, put them together any way they want, play them back, rearrange them, do anything they want.
Exactly. And still maintain the excellent quality you see here on the monitor.
You know, we've seen VCR changes a lot, 2-head, 3-head, hi-fi, VCR Plus built right in. Now Sharp introduces the dual record VCR. Chris Cadena is going to tell us more about it. Chris, this is great. You can now tape Letterman and Leno at the same time, right?
Absolutely. This is dual record VCR from Sharp Electronics. Now what I can do, because Sharp has recorded head, patented technology in the recording head area, we now can take two programs on at the same time and record them for up to 2 hours on one VCR tape.
So we're looking at, say, Program A and Program B right here.
Right. So now you can tape those two, and I can even watch a third using my television tuner like a sporting event. I can now monitor what I'm actually recording and choose to go back and forth between those two.
So you can bring it full screen.
Right. I can have PIP. I can swap those. I can actually move my PIP around. And I go back to my dual window again.
And it has another neat feature is that you can take the tape out of here and play it on a normal VCR?
That's right. So once you finish that recording, now someone can take it up to any VCR in the home, and then by simply adjusting the tracking, they can either choose the A program and manually track back to the B program.
Okay, Chris, so you have two programs on the tape. How does it use this technology? How does it work?
Well, Sharp has a lot of patents, especially in the recording head technology. What we've done is we've taken that head now and we've actually split it. One of the heads has 26 microns, and that takes the tape and records it in hi-fi stereo, while the bottom part of the recording head is 19 micron, and that lays down the second program in linear. And what that means to the average consumer is you get one program in hi-fi, the other program in linear, but it's all on one VCR head, as opposed to having two heads or two decks.
Okay, so now if you're faced with that tough decision, do I want to watch Letterman, Leno, or Koppel? Now you can watch Letterman, tape Koppel, and Leno. All right, Chris, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Will.
Very confusing, but it's a lot of television to watch. Here's something cool from Magnavox. It's the Instant Replay TV. The television has an 8-second recording buffer that is constantly updating. This allows you to play back your own instant replay. If you're watching sports, you don't have to rely on the sports director for the replay of that big touchdown. With a push of the button, you control the replay. Hey, stick around. When we come back, I'm going to show you what's new in personal electronics, or gadgets for you lay people, right after these messages. Personal electronics. Some are getting bigger, some are getting smaller. Let's take a look, shall we? Now, one trend we've seen a lot here at Consumer Electronics Show is personal security, and here's a real neat item. It's the IT&T Night Vision. If you look at this, the military has been using this technology, and IT&T made it for the military for a number of years, but it allows you to see into a completely darkened room. They have 3 different units. They have a consumer unit, which actually will attach to a still camera or a video camera if you want to shoot something in the dark. They also have 2 very rugged units. This is a sort of single view. It's waterproof. It floats. Here's double view if you want to see with both eyes into the dark. Now, you probably wonder how this works. Well, what do you say we go inside to a completely darkened room, you and I, and we'll take a look at how it works. Come on in. They have a little demo booth here. There we are. Now, let's turn the lights out. Okay, now we're here in the IT&T dark room. Now, you can't see a thing, but I'm here, and I see you perfectly looking through my night vision. Now, if Matt, our cameraman, were to put his night vision up to the lens, you'd see me right here, standing here clear as day. Now, if we use the infrared pointer, you can see how that highlights certain areas. It's not really a flashlight, it's more of an infrared light, but it's so minimal, yet it lights up incredibly. Now, look at the dog. You see how I'm lighting up his head there? You move over there, you see the squirrel. Everything is incredibly bright. These things have tremendous, for security. You think somebody's out in your bushes, you can look outside and see. If you want to find your way back into a harbor at night, there are numerous applications. Well, this should be the end of excuses for ever being late. Here's 2 neat products from Oregon Scientific. This is the Time Machine, which is the most accurate personal alarm clock in the world. How it works is radio signals are sent out by the atomic clock in Boulder, Colorado to the entire United States. This reads that signal and sets the clock. All you have to do is basically tell you what time zone it's in, and it's ready to go. It also glows in the dark by the simple push of a button. Both of these units do have a high glow setting. Now, this is the personal weather station. It has a computer chip in there that recognizes the barometric pressure. So if there's any change in the barometric pressure, the alarm clock will indicate that with the various icons, sunny, cloudy. You'll get an idea what the weather's going to be like. And if there's an impending storm, it will signal an alarm. So this is a neat item. It's about $70 and also glows in the dark. So if, well, like it's going to rain, well, I better get out of here and go to the umbrella station. Oh! Well, there you are, and you actually look closer than before. You know why? Because I'm looking through this Canon image stabilization binocular. It has a 12-power lens, but the neat feature that this has is, you know, when you zoom in and look at something, you hit a button right here, and the image is stabilized just like on the camcorder. Now, these are, you know, a bit pricey. They're about $900 or so, but they really do make looking in a long distance easy. Look, I can see Hong Kong from here. Oh, it's just the Hong Kong sign. You know, we hear the future of cellular telephones is satellites. Well, it's out. It's available now. We saw it for $20,000 last year. Now Magellan for $8,000 introduces Microcom. What this is a satellite receiver transmitter that you just simply open up and point into space. You can use it 24 hours a day anywhere in the world. So if you're on a boat, you're in a motorhome, you're anywhere where there's no cell service, just pick up the phone and make the call. It's that simple. I think I'll call my agent. I never know where he is. Now, here's a neat product from Aquapack. You know, electronic devices and water haven't mixed well till now. For about $25, you can protect all your devices, your beeper. Say you're doing a little snorkeling and you want to have your beeper with you, you just wear it right on your belt. It'll even allow your camera to go about 20 feet underwater and turn any camera into an underwater camera. These are about $25, but the great thing is they float, so if you drop in the water while you're boating, you can get them back. Not a bad idea, Aquapack. Hey, stick around, because when we come back, I'm going to show you the biggest thing in audio, like this in-dash stereo. I'm going to have to get a bigger car. Definitely a bigger car. Hi there, and welcome back to the Consumer Electronics Show here in Las Vegas. Well, let's go down to the floor and check out some more cool stuff. Come on. Money on expensive piano lessons, but why? There's something great like the piano disc, it does all the piano playing for you. You've got a piano sitting around your house, nobody knows how to play it, it's just kind of dead wood furniture. But now you attach the piano disc for about $4,500 under here, and it'll play either off a floppy disk or a CD-ROM. You can have piano accompaniment, or you can have an entire 128 string orchestra play through your piano. So kids, go out, play baseball, goof off. You don't need piano lessons. Let technology do the work for you. I accept tips. Hey, you know, I've been walking around, I've seen speaker after speaker, and I don't get too excited about it until now. I found the sound tube, and David Weiner, this is a revolutionary new idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What we've done is we've basically re-engineered the speaker. We've gone in and decided sound can be better, it can be dispersed better, and it can look better, and speakers don't have to hide.
Right, but tell us about this interesting design. This is all to maximize the bass frequency?
The flexible tube maximizes bass frequency. You get better bass, and then we pump all that sound up into lenses, disperse it 360 degrees, and you energize a room. So you get better, more exciting sound.
So sound comes from all over the room as opposed to directly from the speaker?
Exactly. And ultimately, you can walk around your room the way you normally would and hear stereo.
But you're not limited with one design, right? You can change whatever fabric that comes on the product?
Exactly. You can peel the skins right off. In about 2 minutes, put a new one on, so you change your taste, you move, you do whatever, you can just customize exactly to fit your environment.
Right, we saw these at the MTV Beach House, and now they're available. What does a pair of speakers go for about on the retail side?
Our smaller two-way systems are $8.95 a pair, and our biggest system is $14.95 a pair.
All right, David, well, thanks. That's the sound tube, and who knows, you may be listening to sound in a whole new way. You know, in that constant search for better and better audio, we found yet another improvement on what was dipolar speakers are now tripolar speakers. And Chuck Back is going to tell us more about them. Chuck, why tripolar?
Tripole speaker is a response to the requirements of AC3 audio, the discrete digital system. And because with discrete digital, you have directional capability in imaging, the requirements become a little bit different. And what we've done is make a speaker that combines a dipole speaker with radiators on both sides with a direct radiator. In essence, it's two speakers. And what it does is it gives you the directional characteristics you want with an enveloping character.
So these are for front or rear?
They're for rear channels specifically.
Right. Uh-huh. And consumers are always looking to know more about audio. How astute is the ear, actually, or do people really hear all these improvements?
Oh, absolutely. And sensitive listeners, of course, can pick up these things quickly, but it's surprising how naive listeners, or people who really don't have a lot of experience listening to really expensive gear, can pick up these things very quickly when they get exposed to it. A lot of times it's just because they haven't heard really good audio.
Well, you're an expert on home audio. Give us sort of a rundown from the low end to the high end on what a consumer should look for.
Well, you want to look for quality of construction and quality of performance. There are things that you can identify pretty quickly by doing comparisons. It's difficult for you to measure a frequency response or do something like that, for example, but when you're in a store, you can do a comparison of one brand to another brand. You can pretty quickly identify the ones that perform well and the ones that don't. And really, you should trust your ears because they're the best guide. Okay, Chuck, great information. Good luck with the tripolar, yet another entry into the world of audio. What are these bicycles doing here? You come to an electronics show, you don't expect to see bicycles till now. This is Cycle Sound from Aura, and for under $100, it's a helmet that's really a speaker. It makes the whole helmet your speaker. It's illegal to wear headphones when you ride a bike, but it's not illegal to listen to music. So you plug in your favorite device here, tape, CD, put it on, and now you've got music roaring through your head as you ride around. But you can still hear that truck that's coming up behind you. You know, I've been doing a lot of walking around the show. I finally found a comfortable spot right here in the Audio Video Interiors magazine booth with my good friend from That's Home Entertainment, Maureen Jensen. Maureen, nice to see you.
Hi, Will.
Now, I see your magazine here. You guys have been around for a long time, but there's a glut of new magazines on the market on home theater, on electronics, and everything. Why do we see so many new magazines?
Well, we are the original home theater authority where we have been around for 8 years. But I think you're seeing so many, it just proves that home theater is on its way up and home entertainment as well. And there's a lot of people out there doing it.
How should the consumers use these magazines?
I use them as an informational tool, really. I'd read as much as I could possibly about the equipment out there So when you go to your specialty AV retailer, you have some information at hand already, and you have a good idea of what you want.
I mean, so as a consumer, when you go out there, you want to be armed with as much information as you can, and these magazines serve that purpose.
Well, our magazine as well, we're a little bit different because we also feature home automation, whole house audio and video systems, the furniture. Audio and video systems, the furniture aspect, the integration into the overall home design. So we cover a wide variety of the area.
Right. Now, Maureen, as always, you're on the cutting edge with what's happening. Up here, we're seeing, I guess all I hear about now is DVD.
This is really the year when it's hopefully going to come out. It should come out in fall. DVD is very exciting. What you've got is you've got basically a disc the size of a CD. And that disc now, though, will be able to hold 15 times the information of the previous CD capacity for data storage. If you look at it this way, well, it's sort of like you can have the whole Star Wars trilogy on one compact disc, plus room to spare. Plus, it'll also have laser sharp screen image, 3 times better than tape. And also you'll have a digital surround sound, 5.1 channels. So with DVD now, do we have to get rid of our Laserdisc player? I think it's a good idea to hang on to your Laserdisc player, definitely. There are over 8,000 titles of software on Laserdisc. It'll take DVD quite a while to build up to that level. And why should you throw it out if you're enjoying it? Right. Hang on to it. Well, Maureen, as always, you're a fountain of information. I love the home tours that you do on the show, but I have got a number of letters from people about your stealing those things. I know, I got to get it back. So take it back. Make sure you get it back. All right, well, I'm going to wander around more of the show. Good to see you. All right, take care, Will. Now, you see all these people stuck in traffic, they have one thing in common. They're frustrated, but more importantly, they're trying to adjust the fader on their stereo to get that perfect surround sound. You just can't do it. You got a speaker down by your feet, you got one in the back window. You can't get stereo surround until now. Noise Cancellation Technologies has introduced top-down surround sound. What this is, it's a wafer-thin transducer that goes up into your headline, so the sound literally envelops you. It's coming from all around. You have a subwoofer somewhere in the car on the floor. This is really impressive. Great sound coming to a headliner near you. I think I saw this movie. You know, I'm not alone here in Las Vegas. 80,000 people are walking the floor looking for the coolest electronic gadgets. I'm going to show you more of them right after these messages. Stick around. Hi there, I'm Will Schreiner, and welcome back to the 1996 Consumer Electronics Shows here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, let's go check out some more cool stuff. Here's something really neat we found. It's called Cyber Pong. What it does, it allows you to play ping pong and lose at ping pong using the latest electronic technology. What a player does is he stands against the blue or chroma key backdrop and he plays against a computer opponent. Now you can play ping pong not only with somebody across the table from you, but somebody across the country. Now here's what's going to happen. You look at the screen, it's scanning my colors, all right? It's got me located. Now it's asking for the red paddle. I have that right here. Now we're figuring out our locations, and we're there. Okay. Now, I'm ready. Let's see if my computer opponent is ready. It's going to ask me a couple other questions here. Now, it wants to take my picture. All right, continue. There we go. I'm going to continue again. All right. Now I have to put my face in here. All righty, there's my face, and a fine photo it is. Now, see, I'm up in the left corner there. I'm going to pick an opponent. I'll pick this gentleman here, and we're ready to play a little ping pong. Oops. Okay, my first shot, you know, takes a little adjusting to. There we go. Picked up a point there, 1-1. Oh, that ball vaporized on me. Hey, it's Cyberpunk. It's exciting new technology. It's available today. Look for it in a bar, in a casino, somewhere where you have an opportunity to play with somebody. You might be able to play with Forrest Gump somewhere across the internet.
You know, young women have not been a huge market in the video game interactivity yet until now. Her Interactive introduces something for young women. Elise Howard, tell us what this is all about.
We are a division of a company devoted to creating multimedia games and an online service especially for preteen and teenage girls.
Why has this market been ignored?
It has been ignored primarily because the market for traditional properties, which appeal mostly to boys and men, has been huge. And
shoot 'em up, race, fly, that stuff.
Exactly, and the people making those games haven't had a compelling need to turn to the girls' market.
Okay, now what will Sweet Valley, Mackenzie, what will this do?
Mackenzie and Company is a game based on high school. We do know that young girls like entertainment that allows them to look to the future, familiar, idealized circumstances. It incorporates many of the things we know girls value in gameplay, like cooperation, like problem solving, like a strong sense of aesthetics and style.
Oh, Carly, please tell me about the history book. I have to read the entire chapter before next period.
It's based on an interactive motion picture. You choose to be one of two characters going through junior year of high school. You can manipulate the story by making decisions and choices, and then within that motion picture, you can do things like experiment with makeup and style and fashion.
Wow, this is something I need, because I've been experimenting with makeup for many years. And you know, the one thing you're missing on this, if you could just get a high school diploma from playing this, you know, we could just stay at home, right?
That's next. That's next.
All right, good luck, Elise. Thanks. There you have it, young girls. Mackenzie. Also making the trek into the world of interactive media is Fox Interactive, a series of interactive and multimedia-based games based on 20th Century Fox films and television shows, such as Die Hard, the trilogy, where you can battle terrorists and even save the day. The Simpsons Cartoon Studio, where you can create your own episode of The Simpsons, or probe unexplained mysteries in the X-Files, and even save mankind from extinction in a future where apes rule the earth in Planet of the Apes. You know, I've been roaming this floor trying to figure out what all this multimedia gameplay is all about. So we thought we'd talk to one of the experts, the president of Fox Interactive, John Richmond. John, the game, there's so many platforms here. How do you sort it all out for a title?
Well, you know, we look at a title in and of itself. And we try to make a decision based on what we want to do with that title, what elements we think are inherent to the title, and we sit down, decide what we want to create, and then we begin to look at what platform is best for what we want to create.
All right, it's a big game between UNLV and Massachusetts. Schreiner gets the ball, goes up to Krantz, he dunks it, unbelievable. They move the ball down, Weller passes over to Grossman, Grossman passes over to Weller, Weller to Grossman, they go for the shot, it's up, it's passed again. Apparently the defense of Schreiner Krantz is just too much. Hey, that's like real basketball commentary. Well, I'm only playing a video game. When you think of video games, you don't really think of GTE, but Dick Larkin at GTE tells us that we're going to be playing games right over our phone lines, right?
Right now you play in your own home, but very shortly GTE is bringing the technology home where you'll be able to play against your friends all over the country in real time.
So you assemble your own group of friends, everybody plugs in and you got a game, right?
You play with your friends, you play with strangers, you play against the computer. It's really a new way to experience the entertainment in your own home. What we've done is we've worked out a new technology that GTE's put together that allows you to actually simulate the way basketball really happens, the way college basketball. So you're recruiting freshmen out of high school, you're being able to migrate them all the way up from sophomore, junior, and senior level. So if you're working with a freshman on his jump shot, by the time he's a senior, he's a tremendous player, then he graduates and you're starting the whole process over. So you really become the player and the manager. You're developing teams.
So you're really, as you play this game, you're really bringing along the gameplay for the characters in the game, right?
Exactly, and that's what we call artificial intelligence, and it's something that's never been available, and that's what allows the new technology to really make it a lot of fun.
And because it's UNLV, you can actually bet on the games, right?
Well, we don't exactly do that as far as you know.
Yeah. Another offering from GTE is Dust, an interactive experience in the Old West complete with gambling, guns, and gals.
You don't smell too bad.
Welcome to the Voodoo Lounge.
And there's the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge, an interactive CD-ROM of music, mayhem, and interviews with Mick, Charlie, Ron, and Keith.
You live and you learn. It's great, exciting rock and roll gigs.
We'll be back with more cool stuff from the 1996 Consumer Electronics Show here in Las Vegas after these messages. Hey there, and welcome back to the show. Now we're going to take a look at some home office products, and the buzzword you hear in home office is multifunction, and there's a lot of neat units out there that have multifunctions, like this from Brother, the Multifunction Center. It's a fax machine, it's a printer, it's a copier, it's a scanner, it's a fax modem, and it's a message center all in one. And there's a lot of other neat stuff. Let me show you around. Come on. Here's something neat from Compact. For about $500, a little later this year, you'll be able to scan, copy, fax, file, and have a keyboard all in one. Now, how this works is you can take anything. You really basically get rid of your fax machine. You can take a picture, shoot that in there. Let me show you how the text works. Let me show you how fast it is. In about 6 seconds, I'm going to load this document right through the keyboard. It's built into the keyboard. You see the document coming on the screen right there. Okay, now my document is being recognized. And I just find it right there. Click on it. It has OCR, which recognizes text, and my whole document is right there. I can go in it and convert this to a text file, anything I want to do. It's a neat idea. Fax, scanner, copier, keyboard, all in one from Compact. You know, last year we saw a lot of devices that help keep you organized, digital recording devices, and now there's a new feature to the flashback, and Norbert Deberko is going to tell us about how the flashback, which is a digital recorder, goes one step farther by taking a voice memo and then making it transferable to your PC computer, right, or through an online service.
That's right. What we've got here on our handheld recorder, we have removable memory, so you're able to take out your messages and plug them into our adapter, our SoundLink product, that allows you to pull the files in directly into the PC and attach them to Word documents or put them on email and or mail them out to other users. And that way, they're able to hear your voice messages rather than you having to type up memos and fax them out.
Text. Now you can add some personality. Let's record one here for my boss.
Okay. We can place the sound clip in. And why don't you go ahead?
Now this device is, you have what, 36 minutes of recording time on here?
Right, we have 36 minutes on each of the sound clips.
All right, well I won't bore him with that long of recording, but I'll give him a little memo here. Let's see. Hey Rob, it's Will. I'm here in Las Vegas and I'm eating all the free shrimp that you should have had. Hey Rob, it's Will. I'm here in Las Vegas and I'm eating all the free shrimp that you should have had. All right, now this will really get us go. Now we're going to send this via the computer, so why don't you take that back?
Okay. And we can place it in the unit, and play back here, or attach it to email and send it to another PC.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Okay. This is what we just recorded.
Hey Rob, it's Will. I'm here in Las Vegas and I'm eating all the free shrimp that you should have had. Okay, now we've got that loaded in.
So now what we can do is, actually we just played it off the sound clip. We don't have to occupy disk space. But now we can bring up email or something like that and send it to someone.
All right, Norbert, it's a neat device. What's the price going to run on this?
Okay, the recorder itself with the 36-minute sound clip will be about $349, and bundled together it'll be about $500.
Okay, now I can really annoy my boss in the latest fashion, the latest technology. Norbert, thanks a lot. Now here's the latest in home automation from Crestron. These screens get better and better. I'll show you how easy this one is to use. Basically you have video, VCR, Laserdisc. Say you want to control your lighting. Well, you can adjust your lights individually, or you can have a pre-programmed setting for night or day. We go over to the DSS dish. Now we get a preview of the programming right here on our screen. If we want to see that full size, you just touch it and it brings it full size. You go back, whatever you want to do, you just touch on your screen. I think I'll listen to a CD. Now, you never have to get off the couch. Let's see. What do you push to get drinks? Oh, one thing I hate doing in my old home office is those repetitive tasks over and over, like punching three-hole punch. Well, thank goodness Royal has come out with the Power Punch. For about $60, you can punch up to 20 pieces of paper as easy as the push of a button. Just pop it in. Let the machine do its thing. There you go, beautifully three-hole punch. Adjust for two-hole as well. Now, A lot of times you have to go to an office supply place to bind something, whether it's a presentation, homework, anything you do in your home office is as easy to bind right here with the Add-A-Bind for about $120. You just stick it in and it seals. If you change your mind, you want to take some documents out, it's reusable, resealable for about $120. Now, one thing I'll share about myself, and I generally don't like to give too much personal information, is I love an opening, any kind of opening, even really the opening of an envelope. Sometimes it's exciting. You couldn't make it easier, though, with the new battery-powered letter opener. You simply just run it across the top of your envelope, just like that, and you have opened your envelope with ease. Isn't that terrific? These are some neat new office products to make that home automation a lot easier. You know, the idea of caller ID has been around for a few years, where if somebody calls you, look at a box and you see their phone number. Well, Caller ID and International Resources have brought out a new version where you actually can interface to your television. You'll see the name and number of whoever's calling you, and then you can choose to pick up the phone or not. I owe Bob Waldman a lot of money, so I'm not answering. I'm not home. Hey, stay right where you are, because we'll be back with more from the 1996 Consumer Electronics Show after these messages. You know, personally, I'm always looking for neat new ideas. I hate dragging my cell phone, my power supply, and my charger around with me. Well, now from InCharge Company is a charger and battery all in one. You simply just plug it in the wall, and after 6 hours, you got a charged battery. If you can't quite see that, let me show you on the giant illustration how it works. You take your battery, you got your prongs, you just plug it in the wall, 6 hours later. Can you see that okay? Can you? Multifunction has been a big buzzword in the home. Now we're seeing it in the car. Clarion introduces the Max 2556. Jack, tell us about this neat unit.
Well, this neat unit combines both an AM/FM and a CD and a cassette. If you flip down the face here, you can load in the CD, and then flip it forward. You can also load in the cassette.
Back here?
Yeah, exactly, right in through here. And it combines also a changer. You can go ahead and close it here. And you can also display the information from a navigator.
What's neat is this active matrix display really gives you a lot of choices. If we were to punch up the GPS, the global positioning, now you've combined, rather than having multi-units, you can have it all one there, right there in the dash, in a convenient size. And here you can see we're heading, why, look at this, we're heading out of the convention. Great. Hey, if your young one wants to get on the superhighway, but they're a little intimidated by the traditional keyboard and mouse, here's Wonder Tools, a new offering from Fisher-Price and Compaq. What it is, it's a way to sort of browse the superhighway for young people. It's very inviting. It has a joystick, it has a little steering wheel. You can steer your way around, little throttle, cell phone. You can make calls. So if you want to get your young one started on superhighway, or if you yourself are a little intimidated, this might be the place to start. Wonder Tools. If you're really looking for a cool car stereo, check out the Pioneer P85. It has a number of neat features. It has a CD player right here. It'll also control your CD changer in the trunk. You want to listen to a cassette as well? Just push this button, and inside there, you got a cassette player. It has ID Logic, and they're excited about the ID Logic. It tells you not only the station you're listening to, but the call letters. A lot of neat features, digital signal processing, all in one cool package. Hey, stay right where you are, because when we come back, we're going to look at tomorrow. Tomorrow being the future of home electronics. So stick around. You know, no one can predict the future. If I could, I probably wouldn't have lost my shirt at blackjack last night. But I can tell you about the future of electronics, and it's digital and it's cool. So let's take a look. Well, for almost 20 years now, the VCR has been one of the staples for home entertainment. But the future of home video is coming quickly, and it is digital. The DVD, or digital video disc. The digital video disc will store pictures and sound as ones and zeros, or digital bits of information, which are read by a laser. The process is very similar to what happens when you play your compact disc. A movie played back on DVD will have near perfect picture and sound. The picture is stored through a digital compression technique called MPEG, or Motion Picture Experts Group. And unlike the beta VHS wars of the early 1980s, this time all the major manufacturers have come together and decided on one standard format: power to the consumer.
This single side of this DVD disc has the capacity to store up to 2 hours and 15 minutes of the most incredible video images that you've ever seen. 3 times better than VHS, better than Laserdisc on a single side of this DVD disc. It also gives you exciting options. You can watch a DVD movie in any of 3 different versions. 4x3 pan and scan like your normal television. You can watch a DVD movie in any of 3 different versions. 4x3 pan and scan like your normal television set, a special letterbox mode, and as you saw on the widescreen television set, a special widescreen mode. They're all on the same disc. There's up to 8 different language tracks, all on a single disc. And we're talking about audio that's as good as the very best movie theaters. Up to 32 different subtitles, 9 different camera angles, and one disc will be able to carry different versions of the same MPAA standard. So you may have a disc that may be an R disc, but embedded in the disc will also be G, PG-13 versions, etc.
Incredible pictures, phenomenal sound, and a choice of consumer viewing options. The future of home video, the digital video disc. Well, what's just around the corner? Last year we talked about DSS. Over 2 million have sold in the first year out. But if you want to record that fine quality DSS signal, you need a digital video tape recorder like the DVHS. This way you record the digital signal and then play it back through your DSS in order to take advantage of the great movies and the great quality from your DSS receiver. All right, last year we saw the 21-inch LCD. Now we see Sharp's 28-inch, the largest LCD. Bob Perry, where's it all going next?
Well, I'll tell you, where we're going is by the end of the decade, I think you'll begin to see flat panel television replace your ordinary tube television in your living room.
So they'll be competitive in price-wise, but it's really going to be the end of the century, huh?
Absolutely. By about the end of this decade, you'll see them in the stores, price competitive with the rest of the products. I think you'll be very happy with the new technologies. It's an exciting thing.
But the resolution of these screens is terrific. Is it just keep getting better and better? Is it hard to top yourself?
Well, we keep improving the product every year. It is becoming difficult to top ourselves because of the increasing resolutions, but we're moving into a digital age, and that digital age demands better and better television.
The LCD television will also be your computer screen as well, right?
In many cases, you'll be able to get your LCD TV that will also be your home information appliance, your computer screen, or whatever we call a computer at the end of the decade.
How much do you think the average consumer appreciates the digital wave that's coming our way?
I think there's a tremendous amount of confusion out there. I think in the next 2 or 3 years, a lot of that confusion will go away. The real key to digital TV is it gives consumers more access to the information they want, how they want it, and when they want it.
Okay, Bob Perry, good information. Good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Now here's something really neat. This is what we're going to be seeing in about a year and a half from Sharp. This is the LCD TV. It's a desktop television, and if you look at that, it's a liquid crystal display. You can see how thin it is in the sense that it mounts on your desk, very low footprint, but you can plug your computer into it. You can swivel it if you're looking for a full-page display, say you're doing some word processing. It's really kind of neat. It's not available yet, but it's coming very soon. Behind me there, if you like to watch a movie in its original format, which is 16:9 or widescreen, this is the Sharp rear projection 43-inch letterbox style television. TVs just keep getting better and better, now if only the programming would. Well, that concludes our look at consumer electronics in '96. I hope you enjoyed our show. I hope you found something you need, you want, you gotta have. If you enjoyed what you saw, check out That's Home Entertainment right here on HGTV, where we weekly look at all the cool stuff that we're seeing today. Thanks for watching. We gotta power it down. So long.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Desert Inn Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.